Hello my friends, welcome back. What is the difference between the Pilot Custom Urushi, the big brother, and Pilot Custom 845 Urushi, the little brother? When I was after a Pilot Custom Urushi a long time ago, of course my go-to place, the first place to look at is the usual suspects. So I went to Amazon website, and when you enter Pilot Custom Urushi, this pen shows up. And it was at that time priced around 450 to 480. Quite steep, but that's a quarter of the price where this pen is sold in the US pretty much. Then it's suspicious, right? So you realize that. Don't mistake that, because what they had listed was the Custom 845 Urushi. They look alike from distance, but they're vastly different pens. That's a little tip. Over the recent months, unfortunately, the price of the Custom Urushi, the Pilot Custom Urushi pens have gone up quite a bit, including the Custom 845 Urushi. The question that pops up every now and then is whether or not these are similar. So I'm going to do a quick comparison of these two pens right now and do a quick writing sample and tell you my thoughts on what we think. So these pens from a distance, they're very well, they look beautiful. I have the vermilions here. The black ones do not look as strikingly beautiful. So if I were to go today and buy one of these, it would be in red, just a hint. The black one looks quite plain, like any other black pen. So the red ones I have here, you see that the cap on the Custom Urushi is a little bit more chunky compared to the body of the pen. And that's sometimes a giveaway if you have seen enough of this pen in the past. But otherwise the designs look alike. The clip look identical, minus the size. The finials look the same. The ends look the same. Overall, very beautiful design, beautiful pens. And if you look at their cap rings, they're also identical. This is Custom Urushi. 3 stars, filled with lacquer, Pilot, made in Japan. And this big brother, how much does it take to uncap one? 1 3/4 of turns to uncap. How about the little brother? Same, it says Custom 845, the number's there, Urushi, 2 stars instead of 3 on the big brother, Pilot, made in Japan. So that's another difference. The next difference here is the lip of this Custom 845 Urushi has a little bit of felt lining. I guess if you post it, it may not harm it as much as it would the big one, because it does not have a felt lining. So those are the similarities in the caps and body. When we come to the nibs, however, the similarities are just the two-tone nature of the nibs. They're both made of 18 karat gold. In my case, the 845 Urushi is a fine nib, and the Custom Urushi is a medium nib. The Custom Urushi is not made in fine size. It is made in medium fine or fine medium. One of the most beautiful nibs. Very nicely done. When we come to the grip section, unfortunately this pen is made of ebonite, fine, but the grip section is made of plastic. And if you look very closely, you can see the mold lining. There's a line here. The molding lines are there. And if you look at the big brother, also right here, it's there. So a little bit unsightly, but you know, it's fine overall. I wish that for this price that they charged the pen, that they made the whole thing out of ebonite, and that they had lacquered this the same color as the rest of the body. But the black and red theme continues throughout the pen, so it's not super unsightly. I would say overall it's not unsightly. It's very nice. It's beautiful. So in terms of holding the pen in hand, the Custom Urushi is a very large pen. It seems unwieldy, but when you hold it in hand, it's quite light. Being that it's made of ebonite, it's not back weighted. The nib is not disproportionate to the rest of the body. The nib is not too large to write with. So overall, very, very pleasant experience. And if you go to the Custom 845 Urushi, similar. It is a little bit smaller. If you're used to changing your grips from one pen to another, this is an amazing pen. And I would say that probably this is better suited for most general population. It is a better size. It is similar size to the Pilot Custom 845 with just ebonite body and 18 karat gold. So those are the physical attributes. Of course, both of these pens, except the Con 70 converter, probably the weakest link in Pilot's pen lineup. It is not bad. It does hold a lot of ink, but sometimes it just stops pumping ink in. So then you have to take a syringe and fill these. I have a couple of these pens that just stop sucking in ink, and I don't know how to fix them, so I have to buy other 70 converters. So it's not the best reservoir system. I would say the Jinhao 9019 has a better converter. I would take that over this any day. It has more ink capacity and so forth. So in terms of overall looks, I would say they're the same, pretty much. They're similar, very, very similar. In terms of overall feel, to me, Custom 845 seems like the more comfortable pen size for general population. The Custom Urushi to me is the more comfortable pen. I enjoy larger pens and I generally gravitate towards them, and my favorite writers are these larger pens. It's a 9019, Montblanc 149, and then we have Pilot Custom Urushi, and my recently most favorite pen that pretty much put all of my pens out of commission is the Koenig Bachfeller King Size with a Montblanc 149 nib. That's an extra fine nib. The feel and size of this pen seems to be just custom made to my hand. So you see that this is similar to the Custom Urushi in the grip section and the nib size department, and also weight wise. This is titanium, so it's not that heavy. Nonetheless, Pilot Custom Urushi is an amazing pen at its own right, and to me it is the more comfortable of the two pens for my hand. But I have a feeling that for most of the population, probably the Custom 845 would be the better size. However, all of that goes out the door when you start writing with these pens. As we know, the Pilot 845 Urushi is basically Urushi version of Pilot Custom 823. So this is you can see that this pen actually has Montblanc permanent blue ink in it, which is my favorite go-to ink for work purposes. Therefore, you can tell that I take this pen to work. I've used it for at least a couple of years now, I would say, and I don't see any imperfections on the body, and it's not like I throw it around. I put it in my pocket, in my pen cases, and take it places with me. I'm gentle with my pens. I don't put them on the table like that. So I'm careful with them, but nonetheless, my other pens do get some swirls and scratches. This pen has pretty much been scratch free. So you see that I put that pen down very fast because it is a basic feeling, similar to 823 that I use. These are workhorse pens for me, and they would do very well. However, when it comes to the Pilot Custom Urushi, this is probably the most pleasant writing experience out of a pen that I have. The Pilot Custom Urushi is not comparable to the Pilot Custom 845 Urushi in terms of writing experience, if your hand size allows, and that by itself makes this pen definitely the absolute no doubts winner in my book. It will be very different for everyone else. I say that if you're torn between the two, and if you have held the big metal pen and you feel like the overall size of it is right for you, there is actually zero questions and doubts that Pilot Custom Urushi is the better of the two. And in my book, like I mentioned before, there are no comparisons. So I would say go for this. It's a lot more expensive, especially in the United States. But at the end of the day, there are no pens in my collection that can trump this pen comfortably. Let's put it that way. So if you ask me, I'd be quite biased because I enjoy this pen, and the size of it is right for me. The writing experience, the bounce on that nib is just so addicting. So there's no comparison in my book. But I say you should give it a try, both of these. If you're into making this a daily carry pen, do give it a try before you buy the Custom 845. If we meet in one of the pen shows, I'll bring both of these so that we can try. But otherwise, those are my thoughts on the Pilot Custom Urushi and the Custom 845 Urushi. I hope this helps somebody, one or two people, make the right decision. And I hope that you have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day. Goodbye.